Why cheap houses can be costly deals. Have you ever seen a house that looks extremely cheap, maybe tens of thousands below the market? But cheap houses come with issues and buyers don't always get the cheap price as they see. There are some houses that are very beautiful inside, completely renovated, and the owner lists them at a very low price. When we see houses like that, we prioritize clicking on them. We really like to make offers and we really want the agent to find us such houses, right? But in reality, every house listed matches its condition. That means the price always comes with a reason. It's not like you can always buy a house cheaply just because you see one. That's not always the case. There are two scenarios. First, the house is listed at a really low price, but can you actually buy it at that price? Usually not. The truth about cheap houses when there are too many offers. When a house is priced low, it attracts a lot of buyers. Everyone sees the same deal, and everyone wants it. That's when competition starts. Multiple buyers submit offers, and the price gets pushed higher and higher. In the end, the house is usually sold at or near market value. So even though it looks like a cheap house at first, most people never actually buy it at that price. But that's still a normal situation. The second one is far more dangerous. Big lesson when buying cheap houses without checking location. Sometimes, a house is truly cheap, but for a reason you don't know. I had a real case where a client almost made an offer on a very cheap house. But after we checked carefully, we found a cemetery right behind the property. It wasn't clearly shown on the map, and it wasn't mentioned in the listing. Typically, clients don't like buying in areas like that. I'm just saying typically, not all. Some people find it normal. But because those areas are a bit difficult to buy and sell in, the house prices naturally go down. That's why when I tell my client about the location like that and they don't offer that house. Even the seller admitted they bought it cheap before just because they were attracted by the low price and jumped into the decision without checking its location. And currently, they couldn't resell it at the price they expected. This shows one key thing: location directly affects real estate value. If you choose the wrong location, you may lose money in the long term. So now, they are the investors who buy and renovate it. But now they can't sell it for the price they bought it for back then, so the location of the house is an extremely important factor. Therefore, everyone has to be very careful about this issue. Rent control. Don't invest in real estate without this knowledge. The next factor is whether the property you're investing in is easy to rent out. Is it subject to rent control? Because some areas have very strict rent controls. This limits the profit margin. Sometimes, the controls are so strict that they fall below the inflation rate. This means that while prices increase with inflation every year, your property value isn't allowed to increase with inflation. Therefore, the investment might not be profitable. Another point to note is that some areas don't allow short-term investments. For example, with Airbnb-style investments, some cities restrict such business activities within the property. So, when buying, you need to carefully check the city's regulations if you're buying a property for investment purposes. Sometimes, even after you've prepared all the necessary permits, they won't allow short-term investment, resulting in a non-profitable investment. Common mistakes that lead to choosing the wrong property type. Let's take another example. A cheap house again, extremely cheap. Cheaper than the average price in that area by 20%. When people search for the address of the house, they'll see the property type. For example, this house on the screen is listed as single family, meaning it's a private house, not a shared house. But when our team checks the property type for clients, it's called OYO, which stands for Own Your Own. The outside of the house might look like a condo or townhouse, but in reality, when you look at the ownership, it's OYO, meaning it's an apartment. When someone buys this house, they're buying the right to use the house, not the land. There are no fixed boundaries. Therefore, for these types of houses, regular lenders and banks won't provide loans. So, most buyers still opt for cash. Because of this, the number of offers is low, resulting in lower prices compared to other properties. When you see a cheap house, it might come with factors you're unaware of. There are many types of houses, each with different names. People usually know them as single-family, multifamily, condo, or townhouse. But there are actually many different types, each with its own characteristics. Some types of houses are not eligible for loans from lenders, and for other types, lenders do provide loans, but they have specific requirements. Experienced consultants can guide you to the right type of house. Because we don't want you to buy a house at a cheap price only to have difficulty selling it later due to special requirements or loan restrictions. Therefore, you need to understand the house very well so that you buy it at the right price. I always say I only want to buy at the right price. I don't want to buy it too cheaply. Because when you buy something too cheap, it usually comes with some kind of problem. So you have to pay close attention to those points.
Real estate and mortgage broker Danguard, with experience in over 1,000 loan applications and real estate transactions, aims to provide you with useful and general knowledge about this field. For advice on each specific case, please contact via email or website provided below the video. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest information from Danguard.